up 1-0 over Ian, who is definitely an up-and-comer on the scene. From the Netherlands is going on to World Finals. Bob the Rock just outplays Ian.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Wallace with the reverse sweep versus Ian77, making it and qualifying for the World Finals. Let's go! So maybe there's a chance for a counter push, but the mini Pekka, the minions, and then the Evo archers absolutely take out everything. Fireball Evo Zap finishes the game, and Hasiel
drops one, picks up two in a row for the reverse sweep, and Moogie.
And Ian77 takes it.
Kind of the
World Finals qualifier.
Ian77 is our first monthly final winner.
Today I'll show you guys how I won the first monthly final of 2025 and became the first player in 2025 to qualify for the World Finals. Today we're going to be going over every single one of my games from the Clash Royale League monthly final. So I'll set the scene a little bit for you guys. I had gotten top 1000 on ladders, so I instantly got into the CRL top 1000 Swiss tournament last weekend, and from there I was able to get top 32, and then I won in the group phase as well, so I got in the top 8, and the top 8 is the monthly final, so here I was playing in the monthly final. And guys, the number one player who finishes number one in the monthly final, they get a golden ticket, which basically will instantly get them into the World Finals. There's also a few other ways to qualify. There's a last chance qualifier for people who didn't get in World Finals yet at the end of the year, and one person gets in that way. And also, I believe maybe like 5 or so players get in just through having the most points, and you get points by just being consistent every single month. So the most consistent players are able to win a golden ticket off of points. And guys, I decided to play this Goblin Drill deck here against Sub in the first game. He actually played a Drill deck as well, but I'm really confident with Goblin Drill, so I was not feeling bad at all here. And the reason why I went for this Drill deck, guys, is because I knew that he could play something like Lava Hound or RG. And if he had Royal Giant, I would have like the Valkyrie, I'd have the Guards. If he played Drill, which I knew could also be a threat, I had the Valkyrie for it. And if he played like Lava Hound, which I was kind of scared of, I had the Ice Wizard, the Goblin Hut. Most Drill decks kind of suck against Lava Hound, but this version is actually not that bad against it, so I knew that I could have a chance against pretty much anything. Now guys, you would normally think I would have a really good matchup here against Sub because he had the Mighty Miner, I had Valkyrie, and obviously Mighty Miner sucks against Goblin Drill compared to a Valkyrie, right? But the issue with it is that he gets the 3-card cycle using the Mighty Miner, so he's able to get way more Evo Snowballs, way more Goblin Drills, way more Poisons. And also, another thing is that he had Dark Goblin in his deck, which really changed the matchup a lot, as you guys will see here shortly. Because I had no log to kill it, I only had Poison, which is just a negative trade, and if I waste the Poison onto it, then I can't really break through with my Drill. I got some really good drills though, guys. I kept on going for the drills off to the side. Got a beautiful Evo Snowball, which got me a very nice amount of damage right there. Nothing too insane, but this game is really just about getting chip damage here in this, not really mirror matchup, but kind of close to it. It's really just about getting chip damage. So here I went for another drill kind of off to the side once again. I kept on going for the drills fairly towards the front, guys, but just a little to the side. The reason why I always go for them in the front, even though it's predictable, is that if you go for it to the side, I mean, it just gives your opponent so much more time to react. I think Sub made a huge mistake right there, guys. He let his Evo Dark Goblin die to my Ice Wizard. If he had protected it, I think he would have been in a much better spot. I feel like this matchup is a little bit in favor of Sub, but like it's like 60-40 for him. I got a beautiful Snowball Poison there, guys, on his Fire Spirit. I knew he'd play a Fire Spirit there, and obviously that was a massive negative trade, but it got me so much damage, so I was pretty happy with it. I got some nice guards on his Dark Goblin, then I got the Valkyrie for the dribble, then he got an Evo Snowball, and here I was just like, man, I lost for sure. He got such a good Evo Snowball there. I just had nothing to stop it because, I don't know, my cycle was just not where it needed to be, you know? I had no, like, Fire Spirit to play backup defense for me, and at this point Sub was just going to be able to always go for that Dark Goblins in the opposite lane of me, and then I'd always have to just waste like my Valkyrie onto it, and then I couldn't defend the drill. But here he went for a drill, so I was like, okay, I can guards on the Dark Goblin, but then no, he went for the guards of his own, so my guards died, so I had to just defend his drill without the Valkyrie. And I made a really smart play to Fire Spirit first and then Ice Wizard after, guys, because I knew he would go for a prediction Snowball there. And here I knew he'd spam another drill and guard, so I went for a Goblin Hut on a Fire Spirit, which seemed like an overcommit, but it actually ended up working out because of that set of guards that he played. Got my guards on his drill, but I just couldn't do anything about this Snowball because I knew I had to get the Fire Spirit on his Dark Goblin. I knew the Ice Wizard spawn-in damage plus Fire Spirit would take that out. So I was down Elixir at this point, down in damage. And guys, the format of the monthly final was best of 3 duels, so it's whoever wins 2 games first is the winner of the duel, and you can't repeat cards. So after you play a card in one game, you can't use it in the next game. Now, right here, I had to poison the floor, guys, because I could not afford to waste my Valkyrie on his Dark Goblin. Otherwise, I knew that I couldn't defend his drill. He got a really bad Evo Snowball right there. I knew that sub would be kind of panicked, guys, because it was obviously really intense to be in the monthly final. I got some really good guards there. I think the Valkyrie otherwise would have pulled the Mighty Miner kind of into my tower. But yeah, I knew sub would be really nervous here, and normally I'm pretty nervous too in, you know, tough things like this, tough events like this, but I'm very comfortable with drill. So I just decided to play drill, knowing that I'm very comfortable with it, and I could just play my best game. I got a really good poison, got a nice Evo Snowball, pushing his Fire Spirit back, getting me really good damage. He messed up the Dark when my Fire Spirit connected, and splashed the tower, and that gave me game number 1. So guys, for game 2 against sub, we decided to go for Hog Earthquake. I mean, I'm just really good with Hog Rider, obviously, so that's pretty much why I went for it. I knew that we could get some decent matchups, and even if we didn't get a good matchup, I was pretty confident that I could outplay my opponent, and my coach thought the same. Now, I see a lot of people always asking, why do top players need a coach? Well, basically, the coaches analyze the opponent and pick the best deck for you based on their analysis, and top players just don't have the time to do that while they're busy playing CRL matches. They don't really have the time to go through their opponent's battle log and somehow meticulously figure out what exact deck would be the very best to run. Now, anyways, yeah, sub decided to go for a Lava Hound deck right here, guys, which is normally actually a pretty hard matchup for Hog EQ. Like, if he had the Goblin Cage here, it would actually be a pretty difficult matchup, even if I had the Tesla and Firecracker, but he had Tombstone, which is much, much worse against Earthquake, so I knew this matchup could be pretty nice, but the one big issue in this matchup, I will say, is the Evo Inferno Dragon. Now, honestly, the Lava Hound by sub was pretty bad right there. My Firecrackers just farmed off of it. Got a really good Mighty Miner, just forcing him to play something into my Firecrackers. Then I got a Hog Rider, knowing that he had no Tombstone back in cycles, so I knew that I would pretty much get guaranteed damage right here. So yeah, I was off to a really, really good start in this matchup, guys. And man, I'll be honest with you guys, I did not think I could do well this year in CRL, because basically my old coach ended up helping Muhammad Light this year instead of Riley and I, because he got an opportunity to work with him, and in the contract with Muhammad Light, he can only help Muhammad Light and not help anyone else. And I mean, that makes total sense, because Muhammad Light wins basically everything, so of course any coach would want to go help him. But I had to find a new coach, and I asked a few coaches, and most of them just didn't really want to work with me. I feel like they just didn't really have much faith in me to do well, since I had failed to get into World Finals for so many years. And by the way, that was a really aggressive Lava Hound by sub, but I got a really good separation there, pulling the Inferno Dragon to the side with the skeletons, so my Tesla could take it out first, because the Inferno Dragon is the bigger threat than the Lava Hound. But yeah, anyways, I had no coach for a bit, then eventually I got actually a pretty good coach to work with me, but then he dropped me with like, I want to say like a month or less of time before CRL started. He just dropped me for Riley because he thought, I guess Riley would have a better chance to qualify, he thought, for World Finals and stuff. But I just had to end up finding another coach, which I did. It's a guy named Sanchez, and he's not really super well known, so I wasn't sure, you know, whether he could do well with me or not, but I just decided to trust in him. And yeah, I felt pretty good right off the bat, because I got number 1 in the Swiss phase in CRL. I got number 1 in the group phase when I was in a group with Muhammad Light, Mugi, and Tall. And here I was in the monthly final, which would be the true test of everything, because in the past, guys, I've always done well in the group stage. I've done decent in the Swiss stage as well, but always in the monthly final, I would seem to just not do that well. I would always get top 5 to 6 every single time. Like, I got to monthly finals 3 times in my career, and I always got top 5 to 6, never higher, every single time in the Clash Royale League monthly finals. So I wanted to break that curse today. And I knew if I beat sub here, I would be in the top 5 to 6, but I would need still another win to break that curse. So yeah, guys, I was able to play this match really well here. I mean, it was just a good matchup for me, honestly, and I did a good job of spamming my Firecrackers, getting the Hogs at the right time, and I was just able to Earthquake cycle. Sub was just not playing anything because he knew at this point that I took the duel win, so I won my first duel. So guys, at this point, I was in the top 5/6, basically top 5 and 6 are the same thing. You get the same amount of prize money for it. But yeah, I was in the top 5 to 6, and I was up against Lucas X Gamer, who finished number 3 in the World Finals in 2024, one of the very best players in the game. I decided to play a E-Giant deck. He decided to play just good old Minor Poison, which is not really what we expected. Honestly, I had a hunch he might try to just go for a Cycle deck, but my coach was thinking like that stuff like Lava Hound or Royal Giant could be a big threat, so we decided to play E-Giant because if I played my normal Cycle decks, my coach was saying that it could be really risky because this guy could snipe those decks really hard. with his beatdown decks. So yeah, we decided to go for E-Giant. I knew that with E-Giant, I would always have a chance, even if I did face a cycle deck, so I thought it was a pretty safe pick as well. But in this type of matchup, it's really easy for the Miner player to just spam all these quick 2 elixir units and kind of just keep you from building up the right E-Giant push at all throughout the game. Like, I feel like this E-Giant deck kind of has the tools to break through in this type of matchup, but it's just hard to ever get the proper push going because you never really get the elixir to go for an Inferno Dragon, a Golden Knight, and get that Tornado and the Lightning. You just need so much elixir to make a proper push in this matchup. Lucas decided to go in for a Miner. I did go for the Bomber. Honestly, I maybe could have just played a Tornado instead of even playing the Bomber, but okay, on second thought, it was actually good that I played the Bomber there, because then I got a Golden Knight, which killed the Wall Breakers. Missed one Spear Goblin with my Tornado. I will say, guys, playing in the monthly finals is really, really nerve-wracking, so even being able to play decently there is pretty notable, I guess, because it's really, really hard. Like, there's so much pressure, man, and I think my biggest issue in all of my previous, CRL events was that I would just get nervous, I would play pretty decently, but I just make these small mistakes that I normally wouldn't make because I was so nervous. I was placing my cards just like one tile off or just being slightly wrong with my timings or something like that. I played mostly good, but like just a few small little things, and that can really add up to make a difference. So anyways, so far in this matchup against Lucas, I did have my king up. I was down like, 700 damage, which honestly wasn't that bad. Not like the worst start you could hope for. I did go for a Barbell here. Didn't even hit the Wall Breaker there. I hit one of them only, but it didn't really matter because Lucas poisoned anyways. Got my Evo Inferno Dragon in the back. And I decided to go for an E-Giant in front of this guy's because I think the one way to win this matchup, well, obviously you could get a really good Golden Knight ability, but the other main way to win this matchup is to get a really good Evo Inferno Dragon. But Lucas did a really good job of spamming at the Evo Inferno Dragon before it heated up, so his bats were just able to kill it pretty much entirely along with that poison, and I just got no value out of it. My E-Giant was already dead at this point. You guys can see it was just really hard for me to break through whatsoever in this matchup. I was just pretty much trying to pray that I could get a lucky Evo Bomber, lucky Golden Knight Dash, or a crazy Evo Inferno Dragon if I could get back to it. I did get a pretty decent Evo Bomber there, just getting one singular connection. That was also a really good, Evo Bomber just for the sake of putting his Mighty Miner into my Inferno Dragon. I had to go for a hut on his Wall Breakers though, and you guys could see Lucas was just doing a really good job of keeping up the pressure with those 2 elixir cards, so I just didn't really have any elixir to make a proper E-Giant push here, and it was basically just gonna die to his power and stuff like that, and the poison and all. Lucas is one of the best Miner players in the world, so I knew it was going to be really hard to have any chance to win this matchup. And guys, the best of 3 is only whoever wins 2 games first, so I did not want to lose to Lucas here in the first game, because if I lost to him here, then I would only have 1 more life before I would just lose the duel. And by the way, guys, the monthly final bracket is double elimination, so I was in the winner's bracket at this point in the top 5 to 6, and if I lost one time, I would go to the lower bracket where I would still have a life and I could still compete in the tournament. But if you lose twice, then you're completely out of the tournament. So this time I finally did get a Lightning down after not being able to really play it the entire game. I thought maybe something could happen with my E-Giant. Got a nice Barbarrel on the Spear Goblins, but then he already got back to his Goblin Hut, and I just couldn't kill his Evo Bats, man. There was nothing I could do. My Inferno Dragon was staying alive just barely, but then, Lucas just spammed so many Bats by using that Mighty Miner 3-card cycle. And I just had to go for an E-Giant here. I knew I just had one E-Giant push left in me here, guys. I just had one E-Giant, one Evo Bomber left, and that was going to be about it. I did pop my Golden Knight ability, got a little bit of damage there, but honestly, there wasn't much of a point of doing that, I guess. But I was just desperate at this point, trying to get anything to happen. But yeah, Lucas just played this matchup really well, and it was just kind of difficult for me, so unfortunately, I did end up losing the first game, guys. I tried to get like a last-second Lightning. I almost had my Golden Knight ability, guys, in time to get on the tower, but just barely I didn't have enough time, and I was about to click the button there, as you could see, but I ended up taking the loss. For game number 2 with my back against the wall, I decided to go for Mortar Miner. This deck was pretty popular a few months ago. It's not been as popular recently, but it's still a pretty highly used deck. And Lucas decided to go for a Monk RG deck, and he also put the Ghost up in there, guys. I think the reason why he did that was because he was trying to snipe my Goblin Drill cycle deck, because I was playing a lot of Goblin Drill throughout CRL this month, so he decided to make a RG deck that would be pretty good against Drill. He did end up having the Firecracker up in here. I knew that Royal Giant could be a threat in this match, and my coach knew that as well, so we decided to pick a deck that could do decent against it. Got some nice arrows on the Firecracker. I feel like Firecracker is pretty good against cycle decks, sometimes like drill and stuff like that, just to get that incidental chip damage, but it's not that good in this type of matchup since I had the arrows. Nevertheless, though, it can still get some pretty good value to kill the Evo bats and stuff like that, and sometimes kill the skelly drags if you don't have your arrows fast enough on the map, or you just didn't have them in cycle. But I feel like the monk is really annoying sometimes, guys, so, you know, Lucas is also one of the better RG players out there, so I just knew that this matchup could really go either way. I'd have to just play it absolutely perfectly and just not take really a single bit of damage in single elixir. I think this matchup is really just helped by the Cannoneer, though. If I had a Princess Tower, I'd probably just get completely hard countered, but with the Cannoneer, it just helps so much to DPS down the RG. Unfortunately here, though, I just couldn't stop the RG fully. I just didn't have the elixir, but I feel like Lucas kind of made a mistake by letting my entire skeleton dragons go on his tower. Yeah, that just got like 1,000 damage. I popped my Skelly King ability hoping I could get some good value, but then somehow a corny skeleton decided to just go on his king tower for no reason. Yeah, I don't know why that happened, guys, and I knew that might have just lost me the game. Like, when I was at this point, I was like, okay, I might have just lost the game from that Skelly King, but I was still up in damage, nevertheless, thanks to my skeleton dragons. So I wasn't feeling too bad. I got a pretty nice Goblin gang here, just knowing his Barbara was out of cycle, so I knew he'd have to go for the Ghost onto it. And then I think I just went for a defensive miner here, and I knew my cannon cart could get a lot of value on everything. I knew that Lucas had the Evo Firecracker in cycle, so I was just ready to block it. I actually got a really, really good miner right there, guys. That miner got so much value. Luckily, I didn't fall for his monk block right there, man. He wanted me to arrows that, but I didn't fall for it. Just went for some Skelly Drags instead, which were really good for me. But yeah, guys, that was such a good defense there. Just by pulling his monk backwards, I was able to completely shut down that RG push with no issues at all. The monk can really make a difference in this matchup, guys, because normally the cannon cart is really good, but cannon cart does get fully killed by the monk. I got an Evo Mortar here, then I got my Skelly Drags predicting his RG. Honestly, there wasn't really too much of a reason to go for the Evo Mortar. It didn't really do anything for me right there, but what it did do, I guess, is that it kind of just halted Lucas's game plan for like 30 seconds, because his RG was kind of far out of cycle, because I just made him play it on the Mortar. So that's pretty much why I did it, just to kind of throw him off rhythm a little bit, and throw him off of attacking, at least for a short time. Got my Skelly King down on his Royal Ghost, and I feel like Lucas played kind of a weird monk Firecracker. Not really sure why he did that. I mean, the Firecracker, I guess, was getting good value, but I feel like the monk by Lucas was kind of weird. My cannon cart was alive with 1 HP, but then he got the Electro Spirit onto it. And honestly, guys, I was not feeling too good at this point, but then he wasted a Fireball on just some bats, so that was good for me. Got a defensive mortar down just to get some good field control going for myself. But guys, I knew that I needed to break through at this point, because in this matchup, I had no big spell, and Lucas had a big spell. He had the Fireball, so I knew he could just Fireball cycle me if I didn't get a lot of minor chip damage. So I kind of had to keep myself in a little bit of an aggressive position. I had to be a little bit aggressive to be able to do something here. I got my Evo Bats, and I knew Lucas would Firecracker, but I just wasn't going to try to predict where his Firecracker would be, just because if I didn't get it, I could lose the game. Lucas somehow got no damage right there. I had a really, really good defense. I think I got a nice Skelly King ability as well. Yeah, Lucas went for the E-Spirit a little bit early. My bats were getting really good value too, because I feel like he kept on going for the Electro Spirits at the wrong time. And he did start the Fireball cycle, guys. I was just not getting damage because he activated his King Tower, and my miners were just having to be played in the safe spot pretty much every time. I could have played them in the back, but then they just would die quickly anyways. I got a really good Skelly King here getting pulled to the tower by the Fisherman, but it didn't actually slap at the tower, though. It slapped at the Ghost instead, so I got no damage out of that. Lucas got an insanely good monk ability. I got a miner all the way in the back, this time switching it up a little bit. Miner got a few slaps to the tower, but I needed a little bit more damage because I knew Fireball would give Lucas the win at this point. So I needed to get some sort of minor damage. I once again went for the miner in the safe spot, just trying to hope he wouldn't go for the obvious spot, but he did. Got my arrows down with 1 second left, and I just barely snuck the win to make it 1-1. So guys, moving on to game number 3, I just allowed my coach to completely cook, and he decided to go for a Logbait deck with me. And this Logbait deck was pretty good, I thought, because I saw Lucas had the Chef Tower, which I thought meant, okay, Lucas probably has some sort of heavy beatdown deck, and I had Inferno Tower, I had Mighty Miners, so I knew I'd just completely hard counter a beatdown deck. But Lucas ended up going for some weird bridge spam deck. I don't even know why he had the Chef in this deck, honestly. I feel like he was just trying to get like some crazy dumb cannon cart, because cannon cart with the Chef is actually pretty annoying sometimes. Because when it's one level over leveled, it can like one-shot spirits and stuff like that. I think that's what his plan was, but I don't know. The Chef Tower doesn't seem that good to me because it just has a lot worse interactions than the Princess Tower. Lucas actually got a really good baseball tiny, so I kind of had to go for a sacrificial princess right here. I was fine with it, though, because I knew the Inferno Dragon would get taken out for the most part. And Lucas did get a Boss Bandit in the deck. The one issue here, guys, was that I didn't really have many tanks. I mean, I had the Mighty Miner, and that was basically it. And the Boss Bandit sometimes forces out a lot of ground tanks, a lot of ground responses. Here I was so in trouble, guys, but then my Dark One actually got on the cannon cart. And I kid you not, that might have saved me, guys. I'm not sure. Maybe I could have defended regardless, but that could have saved me right there. The fact that that Dark Goblin went on the cannon cart and killed it. And I had a really good defense overall. Took no damage, basically. But anyways, guys, it was really intense here because I was 1-1, so whoever won this would win this match, and they'd be top 3 in the whole tournament. And honestly, guys, I didn't expect that I could get, like, a golden ticket or something. Here I was just thinking, like, okay, I at least want to break this darn top 5 to 6 curse and just get top 3 or something like that and just get some points so I could compete for the golden ticket on the points leaderboard. I wasn't thinking that I could actually have a chance to win the overall golden ticket. I mean, obviously I didn't count myself out, but I was like, I don't know if that's going to be possible to actually win this whole thing. I knew it's possible, but, like, I didn't think that I would most likely be able to do it. So yeah, I just wanted to win this match here against Lucas. Man, my Evo Dark Goblin went absolutely ham right there. And it got on the tower too. That was a crazy Dark Goblin. And here I decided to pop the Mighty Miner ability, guys, because I saw the Evo Bomber, so I knew, okay, I could probably get my king up off of this. So I went for the Skellies. And despite being very nervous, I was able to get my king up right there. I mean, okay, I wasn't really that nervous, but, like, it's a nerve-wracking situation. So most people would be nervous here, but yeah, I was just really keeping my cool. I was trying to play extra safe, so I wouldn't accidentally choke or something like that, you know? And man, guys, I just really wanted to get the golden ticket this year, guys. I really, really wanted to do it because every single time I lose in some competition, there's always some trolls in the you know, comment section on YouTube. There's like thousands of trolls, or like on Twitter or something, there's like so many trolls too. I even bookmarked a bunch of Twitter replies of people trolling me about not getting to World Finals. Like when I post like me getting #1 in the global tournament or something, they're always trolling me about it. And anywhere, they're always trolling me about it. And I think it's so funny too, man. But bro, I've spent like my whole year of work, a lot of the years, to try to get to World Finals just to fail in the end. Like I don't see what's funny about that. Someone spends a whole year to do something and they fail it. Like why would you try to make fun of that? Anyways, yeah, I wanted to get them good, you know. I wanted to show the haters what's up, you know. So I was hoping I could get into the World Finals. I didn't think I would be able to win this thing here, but I was hoping I could at least get myself some good points for the points leaderboard. Got a really good Inferno Tower, and honestly, guys, having my king up, I feel like was really helping me here. It really helped out my defense there and just made it so much more secure. And at this point, guys, my princess got on the tower. I knew if I got one more shot, I could just log Psycho Lucas out. So I got my first log down, and then my princess just ended up taking it anyways. And I was top 3 in the monthly final at this point. Here I was up against Vitor. I was guaranteed top 3 in the whole tournament, guys. But if I beat Vitor, I would be #2. And my prize would go up from $7,000 to $9,500. And if I got a win here against Vitor, I would be the top player in the winner's bracket, and the top player in the winner's bracket faces the top player in the loser's bracket, but you have 2 lives when you're the top player in the winner's bracket facing the top player in the loser's bracket in the finals, basically. Because everyone in this tournament has 2 lives, so if I got through the entire winner's bracket and I faced the lower bracket winner for the grand finals, I would have 2 lives, they would have 1. So if I beat Vitor here, it would put me in a really good spot. There was one thing though, guys, and that thing is that it was now best of 5 duels. The top 3 of this tournament were played all in best of 5 duels. So you'd have to use up to 40 cards in a single duel, which gets pretty crazy. But Vitor had the Mega Knight here. I had Pekka, so I was feeling really good. I also had the Electro Wizard for the Evo Inferno Dragon. The only issue is that sometimes for the Inferno Dragon, they can just play it low against your Pekka, and even if you have the E-Wiz, all they have to do is just go for it low and then block your E-Wiz, and they still counter your Pekka pretty easily. But I knew this matchup could be pretty nice for me if I played well, but you know, Vitor is pretty good at these types of spammy decks. Vitor's a multiple-time Clash Royale League World Finalist, so I knew it wouldn't be easy. I went for the Electro Wizard here. I honestly don't know if I should have done that. I feel like maybe I should have just played my Golden Knight instead. I think I accidentally released my Electro Wizard. I think I had it like hovered there and I didn't mean to actually play it, but I did. Or maybe I just made the decision to play it, then I regretted it like 0.1 seconds later. I forgot what happened, but yeah, I got a nice Golden Knight ability right on Vitor's tower. He got some Ram Rider damage, but I feel like that Ram Rider by him was kind of bad, because he got damage, but it didn't really help him in any way, because I just got the damage right back, and I got myself in a decent spot elixir-wise. So guys, right here, I was just kind of trying to play a bit chill. I didn't want to go for a random Pekka in the back or something. I kind of wanted to set up the right push because if I just went for a random Pekka, it would be very easy for him to stop with like an Inferno Dragon down low, Mega Knight up high and stuff like that. So I had to make the right push here, guys. Vitor went for a Ramada, so I decided to go for the Electro Wizard, I believe. And I knew he could Lightning, so I had my Pekka hovered here. He did Lightning. I went for the Pekka. I knew he'd go for an Inferno Dragon onto it. I had no E was in cycle, so I had to go for the Ram to pressure, so he would have to Mega Knight there, which I knew he would do. And he couldn't Inferno Dragon right away. He went for a late Inferno Dragon. I played the Rage here, hitting the Pekka, but then also going on the bridge so it would make my Ewis go faster to his Inferno Dragon, and it reset it because of that Rage. If I played the Rage just on the Pekka and not also kind of on the bridge for the Ewis wouldn't have gone there in time. And he wasn't able to block it in time just because of that Rage right there. So that is what won me Game 1 against Vitor. So guys, for Game number 2 against Vitor, I decided to go for a Royal Giant deck. Now guys, I will say some things about best of 5 duels that make it pretty interesting. Well, first off, you have to be very careful with your spells in best of 5 duels, because if you waste your good spells early on, then in the last games of the best of 5, your opponent could just go for like a bait deck of any kind, and you literally have no way to stop it without like your log, your arrows, your fireball, your poison. And yeah, it also just forces you to play a very wide variety of decks, and I feel like a lot of people think of me as just a one-trick, or at least they did think of me as a one-trick in the past. So best of 5 duels would really put that to the test, whether I was a one-trick or not, because I'd have to play all kinds of different decks in a best of 5 duel, since it's 5 games. I got a really good Evo Wizard here. I knew it would be really hard for him to stop behind my Monk, because I also killed his Mighty Miner on the other side, so he wouldn't have that. My Wizard got right on the tower. Vitor was a little bit too slow on the Miner, and I just got so much damage just off of that. I didn't even know it at this point, guys, but Vitor actually had Rocket in his deck instead of a Poison, which I feel like definitely helped my Wizard get a little bit more value in this matchup. And you guys will see that pretty soon here. I decided to go for my Ghost in the corner here. The Ghost is a pretty decent card in a matchup like this because it just forces out their Mighty Miner every time, and then they don't have the Mighty Miner for your RG and your Monk and stuff like that. At this point, guys, I was also aware that Vitor did have the Evo Bats, so I knew that would be a pretty big issue. He decided to go for like an Evo Ice Spirit, and he also got a pretty good Miner predicting my Wizard. He kind of overcommitted with the Log, though, I feel like, so I got away with it just playing that Fireball. I think if Vitor didn't play the Log there, it would have been a lot better for him, because then he wouldn't have wasted that Elixir, and he would have just been up so much. But he went for another Miner here. I just went for my Ghost on the Ice Spirit. Unfortunately, played it like 0.1 seconds late, so the Ice Spirit still jumped. He went for a Prediction Log on the E Spirit, but it did not hit. And by the way, guys, I was playing all of CRL in my bed because I had a little bit of a runny nose, but also just like comfortable in the bed. I play CRL really early in the morning in my time, so it's like really cold and stuff. I don't feel like shivering in my chair, so I decided to play in bed because when I'm fully locked in towards the end of the season and stuff, guys, I play CRL in bed. That's the way to go. So that's why I did that, for people wondering, people asking. Vitor actually missed the Log here, which was huge for me because my Evo Wizard shield was still up, forcing Vitor to go for the Miner onto it. And he was just preparing to go for a Rocket. I didn't know he had Rocket, but obviously after he played it right there, I knew that he had it. And my RG almost got a shot, but he barely got the Log in time. But I knew that if I kept up the pressure here, I could probably get the win. I just would have to keep on spamming RGs and stuff like that, and just couldn't let him get in the rhythm of Rocket cycling. And I'd have to be careful of the Evo Bats here as well, I knew. But yeah, I was feeling pretty good, guys, with the Wizard in this matchup, because Wizard is just such a good card to kill the Bats, to pressure behind the Monks and stuff like that. I always got really good E-Spirits on his Bats, and got a nice Evo Wizard here. I think I should have just played it kind of towards the left corner instead of going for it in the middle, but I think I was thinking he might try to go for like a Miner prediction or something like that. I think that's why I played it kind of in the middle, but ended up making me have to Fireball there. It didn't really matter, though, because I just had such a good start that I knew that I could afford to just play decent. I didn't have to play perfect at this point, I just had to play decent. And when you're really nervous, it's hard to play perfect, but it's definitely possible to play pretty decent if you're just focused on that and not really too worried about focusing on getting damage and stuff like that. You just want to play decent and do a little something to them. So yeah, I got my Monk ability here kind of late. I kept on getting chip damage with my Fireballs and stuff like that. Vitor did have to go for a second Goblin Hut, but I had a really good Wizard opportunity here. I think one of the biggest things that I did here, guys, was that I never gave Vitor any rocket value on my tower, because if I ever played my Wizards behind the tower, he for sure would have gone for his rockets onto it. Or even if I played my RG in the back, he would have for sure gone for the rocket onto it, but I was just never giving Vitor that value, so he never had the opportunity to do anything with his rocket. He kind of messed up the miner right there. Vitor, I feel like, is a player that is pretty experienced in competitive play, but he gets tilted somewhat easily, and I knew that. And I knew that he would just really struggle to beat me at this point in this best of 5 duel, because he would get really tilted after these couple losses. And yeah, I just had to RG the bridge here just to, you know, spend the rest of this time, force him to defend instead of attacking me. And guys, if I won this match, I knew I'd just have to win one more match to beat Vitor in a best of 5. And if he wanted to beat me, he would have to get a 3-0 sweep, which is possible, but I was feeling really, really good because we both wasted a lot of our good cards here. So for his last decks, I know he'd have to play really bad stuff, so it would be kind of unlikely that he would be able to reverse sweep me. So guys, for the next game against Vitor, I decided to play a graveyard deck. I did have the log up in here because I knew that he could play some sort of bait deck. He ended up going for the zap on my tower. I was just leaking, trying to buy my time till double elixir. Vitor ended up finally going for a berserker in the back, so I got my guards going into it. With graveyard, it's really fine to wait until double elixir, so I was just not really worried about playing much in single. I was kind of just playing reactively to Vitor. When I saw the Witch, I was feeling pretty decent here with this deck because my coach actually gave me Valkyrie and the Poison, so I had plenty of Witch counters. The only issue is that Evolved Witch just destroys Poison decks. But with the Valkyrie in here, I knew that I could still kind of deal with it. I don't know why Vitor decided to go for such an aggressive boss bandit. I think that was kind of terrible by him, but he was down 0-2 at this point, so I guess he was just trying to get some sort of lucky start or something, knowing that he needed that in order to win the best of 5 duel. My Witch actually did a pretty decent job here against his Goblin Machine, I believe. Yeah, it took off quite a bit of its HP. So my game plan in this matchup was pretty much just to play full-on defense, guys, and get like 1 or 2 graveyards towards the end of the game. That was pretty much my plan. I didn't know he had the Goblin Curse, though, so I wasn't ready for it to be played on like my graveyard or my Witch or my guards or anything like that. So you guys will see how that came back to haunt me just a little bit later in this game. Vitor got a zap down. I think I just was leaking for a few seconds, and Vitor was too. So Vitor ended up going for that curse on my tower, which I think was kind of a bad play by him because that just revealed to me that he had it. And I wouldn't get surprised by it anymore because of that. Yeah, I thought he surprised me with it, but I guess I got a little bit confused. I got my Evo Witch going in the back just because I knew he had no big spell, so I could kind of stack up all of my units like my Goblin Hut, my Witch, without really having to care about it at all. But Vitor did have his Evo Zap and Cycle, and with the arrows and the curse and stuff like that, that can actually go pretty crazy. He got a really good Goblin Curse onto my Witch, but I feel like my Valkyrie especially was just really helping me. I got a nice Evo Valkyrie, and I was able to shut down everything really, really easily. I was feeling kind of bad about this matchup at this point, though, guys, because, I don't know, I thought this matchup would be good for me. I thought it would be pretty easy, but you can see I was just getting down so much elixir on these defenses, mainly because the Evo Witch of his was putting me in a weird spot, and sometimes his Goblin Curses, too. So I was just, like, down a lot of elixir, but I guess I kind of regained my elixir over time, and I was pretty even here with Vitor. Yeah, so, I don't know. I didn't really know how to feel at this point, but I did feel pretty good about getting those guards to the tower for a couple hits, so I was already up a good amount of damage and didn't really have to graveyard anytime soon here. I was just setting up for some really good defense. And guys, I will say, I think one thing that helped me the most in CRL today was that I was praying before each one of my game days, you know? I was praying before each one of those. Man, that boss bandit got on my Witch somehow, then his Goblin Machine got on my tower for 2 rockets. That was actually really, really bad for me, guys. He just got all that incidental damage right there. The Evo Witch was being so pesky as well. But anyways, guys, yeah, I was praying before each one of my matches, and I feel like it really, really helped me focus during my matches, and I think it helped my coach focus as well. My coach said he was praying too, actually, so I think it really helped us both focus during these matches, because, man, I swear I felt so much more focused and less nervous than I normally did. But dude, this one skeleton, man, that one skeleton for Vitor got him so much damage, so I knew I had to go in at this point with the graveyard, guys. I knew he'd probably go for a defensive curse, which would get him so many goblins, but I had to go for the graveyard. I just needed damage. Got my early poison down, but dude, my RNG was so bad. It was so bad, I got literally 0 damage. With that graveyard, I just fed him a 7 elixir lead, but he kind of wasted it on random stuff, so... Was not looking too bad for me. I just needed to get some more graveyard damage. I knew he had the Evo Witch, which I didn't really want to push into it, but he played it kind of early on the Valkyrie instead of the graveyard, so I just poisoned everything anyways. I knew it wouldn't really damage the Witch much, but it would kill the machine, kill the goblins and stuff like that, kill the Berserker as well. And I got really good damage with my graveyard, guys, so I knew I just had to defend here. Yeah, I was thinking, like, I'm probably not going to go for any more graveyards here, most likely. I'm just going to defend fully. Got a very nice Valkyrie onto his Evolved Witch, and got a hut up high just to make sure that machine wouldn't do anything too crazy. And guys, if I won this here, I would be top 2 guaranteed, and I would go to the grand finals for the match for number 1 in the monthly final. And I was able to get the win, guys. He just was not able to break through my huts. I had really good defense. I was very patient, waiting for the right times to go in for the graveyard. And I took the win. So guys, this was the final. I was up against Sub, the top 4 player from World Finals last year, and we were playing a best of 5 duel. Whoever won this would be the monthly final champion and get a golden ticket to instantly go to the World Finals. The thing is, though, he was in the lower bracket. He was the winner of the lower bracket because someone else beat him earlier in the tournament. But at this point in the tournament, I was undefeated, so I would have to beat him in 1 best of 5 to take the win, but he would have to beat me in 2 best of 5s to take the win. Because even if he beat me in 1 best of 5, it would just be a bracket reset, and then he'd have to beat me 1 more time. So when I saw the Hog Firecracker guys out of Sub, I was thinking like, okay, this should be pretty good. I have arrows, I have Monk, I have Evo Zap, so I was thinking this matchup would be pretty nice. I just have to be very careful in single elixir, because he can definitely outcycle me easily. And even though he has very little air defense, he can cycle so many cannons, so many firecrackers that it can be really tough. I had my guards hovered for his Hog though, so I was able to take 0 damage in combination with the Zap. But guys, I was a little bit scared here having the Zap, because when you have Zap instead of like a Snowball or something, it makes it so much harder to stop the Hog Riders. Like if you have no Bomb Tower in cycle, it's a lot harder to stop the Hogs when you have no Snowball. If you have Snowball, you can just like Inferno Dragon Snowball, Monk Snowball, Guard Snowball, but when you have Zap, it doesn't do nearly as much. So I've got a pretty nice Mighty Miner ability here, and it was honestly a pretty chill start. Nobody was really winning too much, but yeah. I knew someone would go for a Hog Rider, so I decided to play the Bomb Tower first and then the guards after, guys. That's why I didn't play my guards right away against his Mighty Miner, which was a really big deal, actually, to get those guards after, to get 1 card closer to my Bomb Tower again. Otherwise, he could have definitely outcycled me a little bit easier. I was not really up in damage here, but I was not feeling too bad because I survived single. But honestly, those Fire Spirits were getting so annoying for me, guys. I just couldn't stop them ever, because it's not worth wasting a whole Evo Zap onto it. It's not worth playing an Inferno Dragon, a Monk, anything like that against it. So yeah, I set up with the Monk in the back. That's kind of how you have to play this matchup. I got a Balloon kind of in the back too, just trying to maybe set up with some big double Balloon push or something like that. I had my Evo Zap here too for a Firecracker. I had really everything I needed in my cycle. Got some arrows on his Evo Firecracker there, but I feel like the Mighty Miner was really carrying Sub here, because it allowed him to get a lot of cannons down, as you guys will see here pretty soon. I got a double Balloon push though, but he was just able to cannon up high. His Firecracker was being so annoying. He got a second Firecracker. Like, honestly, guys, I thought I hard countered this matchup, but I don't even feel like I was playing bad, and I was still getting cooked. His Mighty Miner got so much damage right there. Like, I don't know. I swear I wasn't even playing bad. You guys can let me know if you think I made a lot of mistakes here, but I didn't even feel like I was playing bad here, but I was just getting completely cooked by Sub. Honestly, Sub played really well this match. He was doing everything he should have been doing. I got my Monk down. You could see my cycle just got really awkward having the Monk. Like, the Monk is really good against Firecracker and Cannon, but I feel like it just made my cycle really awkward. It just was hard to get the right stuff down at the right times, I felt like. And also the Inferno Dragon was kind of awkward sometimes too. Sub ended up getting his king up here with the log, and from there, guys, I was pretty certain I lost the game. Just him having his king up would make it so much easier for him to defend my balloons and my miners and everything. Honestly, guys, that king activation for him might have just cost me the game right there. I was thinking for sure I lost this matchup. I was hoping the guard could, like, poke the Hog Rider, but it just barely didn't go in time, and he got that dumb Hog hit, guys. And you could see I was just struggling so badly right here. I mean, I don't even feel like I played that bad. I really don't. I mean, I could have done a few things better for sure. I think maybe what I would have done in retrospect, guys, is that maybe I would have made a little bit bigger balloon pushes instead of going for balloons more on their own, sort of. Or like that one time I had double balloon, maybe I could have gone for a balloon in the other lane instead of both same lane. I'm not really sure, though, if that would have worked too well, because I feel like he was pressuring me so well that I never really had the chance to make the proper push because he was just always spamming the Hog Riders and stuff. Because it was easy to attack in this matchup, but it was just hard to defend, you know? I feel like it was hard for him to defend, but also hard for me to defend. Got my arrows on the cracker, but man, I just could not do anything here. And I was not feeling too good, guys, being down 0-1 in the finals against Sub. So guys, next up against Sub, I decided to play this Goblin Drill double small spell deck. I'm really good with drills, so I knew it would be a deck I could play very comfortably, and that I could play very well. Once I saw the Cannoneer Tower, I pretty much already knew he had Mortar, because basically, exclusively Mortar has the Cannoneer Tower these days in CRL. The nice thing for me was that I had double small spell, which could counter his gang, could counter his bats. But the big issue here, guys, is that my Goblin Drill deck had the Dart Goblin, and Dart Goblin is honestly not that good in this matchup compared to like a Goblin Demolisher or something like that, which Goblin Drill decks normally have. So I was feeling a little bit bad about that because I feel like it's very easy for them to overwhelm you with Evolved Mortars and stuff like that when you have the Dart Goblin and not the Demolisher or something like that, like a Little Prince or whatever. Because he could just always arrows down my Dart Goblins. I got a poison on his cannon cart, I just didn't want to deal with it, and then I think I got a really nice Mighty Miner Bomb as well just to fully kill that cannon cart. Got my snowball too, just to make him spend something on the Mighty Miner. He got his Spear Goblins down. As you guys can see, I was playing very safe here. I saw the casters, I was like watching the replay, but I saw the casters saying like, they think I should have been more aggressive in single elixir, trying to just get more damage since I had the cheaper deck of the two of us. But no, guys, I purposely was not playing my drills at all here. And that's the way you have to play this matchup. If you play the drills, they just get like, what, a free Goblin Gang every time? You just get a -1 trade, they get a free counter push. Like, why would you do that? Or they could just go for a Skelly King and they just get a free Skelly King, full HP counter pushing. So there's no reason to drill in single. And also you're never going to break through with your drills unless you have your Evo Snowball and Cycle. So here I finally did have my Evo Snowball and Cycle, but I was kind of just like trying to play my cards, trying to make him waste his Skelly King or some of his good drill counters, or make him be down in elixir or something. But here I had a really good chance though. I had my Evo Dart Goblin to kill the cannon cart, then I had the Mighty Miner tanking for the Goblin Drill. He played his Skelly King like I knew he would, but I got my Evo Snowball down. But I feel like maybe I should have waited on the Evo Snowball, guys. I think maybe I could have waited like a second or two onto it, so that my Evo Snowball would be kind of timed to where the Death Goblins of the Drill would be going in as the Evo Snowball came down, so it'd be a lot harder for him to stop. But guys, here I thought I lost the game, man. I popped my Mighty Miner ability, killing his Skelly King ability, but man, this Evo Mortar was being so annoying. And I just did not have any distraction in cycle for it. My Dart Goblin was too flimsy. Sub had some pretty bad arrows right there, actually. He probably thought that I would protect my Dart Goblin, but I just didn't have anything in cycle to do so. And I was not feeling good here, guys. I would just down a good amount of damage, but at least for me, his Evo Mortar was far out of cycle since he just wasted it. But yeah, I just had to really, really lock in here, get some really good defense, get some really good Dart Goblins. I knew he would Mortar, so I got a really quick Evo Dart Goblin, which was actually really, really good value for me, killing all of the Evo Bats, and even got a couple shots on the Mortar as well, which did end up killing the Cannon Cart. I predicted his Miner placement there. As you guys can see, I really locked in here. Yeah, honestly, guys, I feel like just praying and stuff like that really is, like, I know I already said it before, but like just praying was really what was helping me here, man. Okay, I got a really good Mighty Miner ability. I went for the drill into the cart, guys, because I knew I could poison the cart, and then he couldn't play any of his swarm cards into my drill because I had the poison down. And Sub was playing really nervous here. He kind of messed up his gang. He played it a bit early and stuff, and my Dark Ops were going crazy. But yeah, guys, I was just like praying and stuff like that, man, and I feel like I just had so much more focus than normal, and I've just been trying to do better in my life, honestly, especially recently. I mean, I always do, but especially recently I have been, and I feel like it's really been helping me here, because, you know, I always knew I had some good skill in this game, but I just had to let God work through me better, you know? I feel like that's what I had to do this whole time, and I feel like I've just recently started to be able to allow God to work better through me. Got a nice Tesla right there. I mean, he blocked it, but like it killed the cannon cart, so it wasn't bad. Unfortunately, my Dark Goblin died there because his Miner held my Dark Goblin in place. Otherwise, the Dark Goblin would have just ran away from the Mortar. But I just felt like I needed some damage here. I got a really good Snowball, but unfortunately, it just wasn't quite enough to keep the Dark Goblin alive. He got his Evo Mortar down, which I thought would mean it was game over for me, guys. I thought I just lost here. Got my Dark Goblin down. His stuff was stacking up. He got the dumb Skelly King ability. He got the arrows down to kill my Dark Goblin. It was just too flimsy. His Miner was chipping. His Spear Goblins were chipping. Everything was going wrong for me. I got my Tesla for the Mortar, but I just was not looking good. He actually missed the Dark Goblin with the arrows right there, but I believe Mortar still got on my tower. You did still get on my tower. Got a really good Evo Snowball, though. Got my poison down, but poison was not going to be enough here, guys. Poison was not going to be enough damage. But my Dark Goblin's locked on the tower. My Dark Goblin's locked on the tower, guys. I can't believe it. Without those Dark Goblins there, that would have been game over. So I was 1-1 against Sub here. For game number 3 against Sub, I decided to go for a Hog Earthquake deck. You know, I was just playing my good old Hog Earthquake where it really mattered, guys. I was honestly not playing that much Hog Earthquake in the earlier phases of CRL, but I guess my coach just felt like it would be a good idea towards the end since he knew that I could just play it really well and he just trusted me with Hog Earthquake. So yeah, I played Hog Earthquake. I knew that Sub would have a high chance to go for bait, so yeah, I felt pretty good against that with this deck. He ended up having the Golden Knight and the Mother Witch, so from here, guys, I pretty much knew he had a Pekka deck. And I did have the Inferno Tower, which was really good here, but he had the Lightning in his deck. I knew he'd have the Lightning. So Inferno Tower was not actually going to be that good. Also, Inferno Tower is kind of bad against Battle Ram. But the thing that was really, really good here, guys, was the Firecracker, and I knew that. So I spammed it right away. Right off the bat, I spammed the Firecracker, because I knew it would be just very hard for him to get them off the board. Because Lightning is just too expensive to play on a Firecracker most of the time. Got a really good Evo Ice Spirit there. Got an Evo Firecracker as well. And guys, pay attention to the fact that I cycled my log before my Golden Knight died right there. So I was able to get a second Firecracker as quickly as I did there. Because if I didn't cycle the log there before my first Golden Knight died, it would have taken me longer to get to that Firecracker. And maybe I would have just not been able to get as good of a trade on defense. But yeah, ended up working out pretty well for me. And my cycle was a little bit awkward here, so I just decided to go for the Hog Rider. I knew his cycle was kind of bad too. I knew he had no Pekka at this point. I was keeping track of most of his card cycles, so my Hog was able to get 1 hit on the tower. Just kidding, it got 2 hits on the tower somehow. Oh, man. Yeah, I was looking really, really good here. Sub went for the Pekka in the back, but he didn't actually pop his Golden Knight ability. If you guys ask me, I think he should have popped his Golden Knight ability right there. I feel like that would have forced me to play something kind of awkward into his Pekka, and maybe it could have put him in a good spot. But yeah, I cycled my Firecracker. I kind of played it off to the side, guys, and the reason why I did that is because I didn't want to play it too much towards the middle. Otherwise, he could just get a really good Lightning on my Inferno Tower and Firecracker if I had to play it. Honestly, guys, I'm so happy my Golden Knight connected right there. I thought for a second it wouldn't, but luckily it did. And I could have played my Inferno Tower right here. I think most people would have, but I just knew that cycling my Goblins and my Firecracker and stuff would help my card cycle to get back to like more Firecrackers, more Hog Riders. And also, it would give me a bit of a counter push, unlike the Inferno Tower. Got a really good Golden Knight here, but I was down quite a few Elixir, guys. I was down like 6 Elixir at this point. And Sub did have the Evo Battle Ram. I think the one chance for them to win this matchup, guys, is definitely the Evolved Battle Ram, because it just can sometimes ram through absolutely all of your defenses, and the Inferno Tower just doesn't really do much against it. But guys, I was just making sure to completely abuse my Firecracker here, man. Look at how much value I got out of that Evo Firecracker, and how much tower damage I got as well. Beautiful Golden Knight ability, by the way, killing the Mother Witch through the river somehow. This Firecracker was not dying, guys. It was not dying. Yeah, his ghost went backwards. My Firecracker got a shot on the tower. Sub was just playing so nervous, and I knew it, guys. I knew he was playing nervous, so I knew that I could outplay him, and I did. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, this cruddy RG deck looked like absolute garbage, but my coach gave it to me, so I just decided to trust him. See, at this point, guys, we were running really low on good spells. We wasted all of our good spells. You know, we just didn't have what we needed to do well, and also, we had like nothing good for bait, and we knew that bait was an option for him, so that's why my coach put like Mother Witch, the Curse, the Rage, and stuff like that, because if he did play bait, we would have had a good chance to get some really good, you know, Curse, Rages, and stuff like that onto Swarm units. But yeah, this RG deck just did not look that amazing to me, but yeah, I was just hoping to get the right matchup. At this point, I thought Sub might have like a drill deck or something like that. I just really was not sure what to expect out of him. So I got my Lumberjack in the back right here. I mean, at first I thought it could be Xbow, but after I saw, like, the different cards in his deck, I was thinking, like, nah, there's no way it's Xbow if he has Snowball, right? So I was playing pretty chill here, just trying to figure out what his last cards were going to be. I still was thinking it's going to be Goblin Drill or something like that. I just could not have pictured that it could be Pumpo. He played the Pump, guys. The reason why he played it there was because he had Evo Archers to defend my RG, but I still had to go for them anyways. I mean, I still had to go for my RG anyways, even into his Evo Archers. I could have got a Curse Rage onto them, but it just takes so long for the Curse Rage to kill the Evo Archers, so I knew there was no point in doing that. And guys, I literally could not do anything here. I had no big spell to kill the Pump, and I had no arrows to kill the Archers, no Monk to even reflect them or anything. So I just called the early good game. And I also knew that Sub did have the Evo Snowball in cycle here, so I knew that if I went for an RG to defend an Xbow, he could just Evo Snowball it and get a lock on the tower. This matchup, unfortunately, was just really, really good for Sub. I think actually what Sub was trying to snipe here, guys, was Logbait. They were scared that I would go for Logbait, so they played double small spell in the Barbell and the Snowball. So I knew that this would be a pretty rough matchup. I was just thinking maybe my curse could do something. I actually got a really good curse right there when he least expected it. He wasted the Barbell, so he couldn't kill the goblins. Mother Witch was going crazy, and Sub honestly kind of slipped up right there, guys. He kind of made a slip up there. I was just trying to get some momentum going in my favor. I could not stop these pumps, but I was just thinking like maybe I can just get a ton of damage and not have to worry about them even, just because I could just finish out this game before he could get the value out of the pumps. But you guys will see what happened here in a little bit. So I got my Lumberjack RG push going. Mother Witch was still staying alive for so long. Got a rage down right there. Maybe I could have waited to get a curse first before that rage, to be honest. But I did what I could. I got a Mother Witch down as well. Honestly, I don't think that Mother Witch was that good by me, but I don't know if it really mattered that much. Yeah, that Mother Witch was really not that good, but I just feel like there was not much I could do here. Sub got the Xbow down. I got my RG down, which was able to defend it easy, but look at my cycle. Look at my cycle. I literally had nothing for that Evo Archer. See, maybe if I didn't play that one Mother Witch, I could have had something for that. I'm not even sure. Yeah, maybe I could have. Maybe I could have, actually, but I don't know, guys. I feel like this matchup is just bad. I don't know. Just because my cycle was really slow and just no big spell. If I had like a Fireball or something, I think the matchup would completely change, but yeah, the cycle was so slow. I just felt like, I don't know, I just felt so annoyed as a cycle player, you know? Normally my cycle is so quick, I always have something to defend everything, but with this junk, I just could not do anything, man. I was triggered when I saw the defensive Xbow, man. I was triggered. I couldn't do anything. My Mother Witch just died there. He got another pump down. The disrespect, man, is crazy. And he had his Evo Snowball in cycle and Evo Archers too. You know, guys, I didn't think about it during the actual match, but honestly, looking back, it could have just been that Mother Witch that cost me. I'm not sure, though. I'm not sure. Got my Curse Rage down, just to hit the tower, but it didn't even hit the second Evo Archer there. I did get tower damage, but I feel like it would have been better just to hit that second Evo Archer. And Sub wasn't really playing perfect himself, but like, I mean, honestly, in single elixirs, Sub kind of slipped up on a couple Mother Witches, but after that, he started to just do exactly what he had to do, which was just like get defensive Xbows, get the Archers down and everything. I tried to get like a lucky curse off or something, but yeah, it just was not going to get me a breakthrough. And guys, I was going to be so annoyed here, man. I was going to be so annoyed here. I thought like, okay, my CRL is ruined just thanks to some goofy Xbow deck. So I was not feeling too good. I'm just like, man, I just have to win one match to win the finals, but I just can't do it. And I ended up getting destroyed by this Xbow deck, Pump Bow, to be exact. So guys, this was for everything on the line, man. We were 2-2 in a best-of-5 duel. So we had to play a total of 40 cards each in this duel, 40 separate cards. My coach gave me this mortar deck, which honestly looked absolutely garbage. But keep in mind, guys, we had no access to any of the good spells. We had no access to poison, we had no access to arrows, we had no access to log, to barbell, to snowball, to anything. But the same boat was Sub. I mean, in the same boat was Sub. You know, he was really scared of Logbait in the previous game, I believe, guys. So he decided to play Barbell and Snowball, which made it so that in this game he had to go for delivery. And he had a bait deck, which we kind of expected. I kind of expected them to go for some sort of bait deck, but we just had nothing to really stop it easily except like delivery and stuff, which is okay against it, but not that amazing. I got a really good Skelly King here, guys, just knowing that he had no log in his deck to stop the ability, and also he had Valkyrie out of cycle. He had to go for a hut on that, but then I had my ability here, and I was hoping to get some nice damage. He got some pretty decent guards down there for it, but look at the elixir difference here. And I got a very nice Skelly King hit, guys. That was actually a really good Skelly King at the bridge by me. Put me up in elixir, and I got free damage. So here I just went for the mortar. I knew that the Evo mortar could be pretty good for me, but the issue is that Dark Goblin is really hard to kill here. But look at this Phoenix. I got a Phoenix down to keep the Dark Goblin in place, because if I didn't play the Phoenix, it would have ran forward, dodging the mortar shot. But I played the Phoenix there, so it would stand still, so the mortar could kill it. Then I got my mortar on the tower, got some very good damage, and I was feeling really, really good already, guys. I was almost tasting the victory, man. If you guys didn't know, I've been playing competitive since 2021. And I've been trying to get to World Finals every year. In 2023, I lost the spot to World Finals by one best of 3. And like in 2023, I lost by like a couple best of 3s. 2022, I was somewhat close as well. 2024, I was decently close too. Got a bit of a late delivery here on his barrel because I didn't even know he had barrel at this point. I thought maybe he would have had like drill or something like that. Once again, I got the nice play with the Skelly King, keeping his Dark Goblin in place, man. I feel like he was really messing up the Dark Goblins, to be honest with you guys. He was just getting his cycle always messed up, because he always had to go for that Dark Goblin onto my mortar without even tanking for it, so he just got no value out of it. Got a nice Skelly Barrel and a nice Fireball here, just so the Skelly Barrel would go on the tower and not the hut. But he got a really good delivery, killing everything. To be honest with you guys, I feel like this matchup is not bad for sub at all. Like, he has Valkyrie for Skelly King, he has like Dark Goblin Ice Spirit for the mortars. I can't really kill the Dark Goblin, because I have Fireball for it, but that's just like a -1 trade every time, and if I spend a whole mortar, I probably don't have the elixir to go for like a Fireball and do everything else I need to support a mortar push. And also for the barrels, I have delivery, which is not really that good against it, because you have to react quickly, and also just a 3 for 3, it's not like a positive trade as Snowball or a Log would be. And for the Evo barrels of his, I really didn't have that much to do against them, guys, so I don't think this matchup was that good, but just that early Phoenix put me in a really, really good spot here, and I was just trying to defend well, playing these defensive mortars, guys. I got an offensive mortar in here as well, but I knew that I'd have to go for some nice defensive mortars as this game progressed, because I just wanted to have them to be able to kill the Dark Goblins and the Princess and stuff like that. Mortar actually did get on the Dark Goblin once again. Sub just was really not protecting these Dark Goblins whatsoever. And I'm sure, as you guys can imagine, Sub was very nervous. I was obviously like a little bit under the nerves as well in this final game, because like I wasn't really under nerves much at all in the previous games, but like this is the final game, man, to win the golden ticket, to get #1. And guys, it's not just like a golden ticket like a lot of people get. Like a lot of people get like the golden ticket, you know, from like points, from qualifying points, being consistent throughout the year. But no, this would be like winning an actual tournament, just getting a golden ticket from winning #1 in the tournament. Like, also a lot of time Mohammed will get the first golden ticket, and then to get the rest of the golden tickets, you only have to get #2, because Mohammed usually gets #1 in the events, and if you get #2, you're still the #1 player without a ticket, so they just give you the ticket. But no, if I won this, I would get #1, fair and square, get a golden ticket. Got my bats here for the Dark Goblin, but they did not kill it, and Sub was coming back little by little. I got a very late Goblin gang down, and I should have played it to the side instead of playing it there. And I could have obviously gone for it quicker and stuff, but dude, there was just like so much happening. And I feel like Bait is actually one of the top decks to play in CRL when your opponent is just under a lot of tension, guys, because Bait just constantly forces you to make choices. So if you're under a lot of pressure, it's really hard to always make the perfect choices, the perfect interactions and stuff like that. So it's a really good deck to play when your opponent is going through it, basically. But I just knew I had to defend, guys, for 15 more seconds, bro. 15 more seconds. Went for the Evo Barrel. I got a really quick gang this time. Got a really quick delivery. This time I was ready for it. Went for an Evo Mortar up high just to make sure we didn't get any sort of lucky damage, guys. And I was able to get it, guys. I got #1 in the tournament, and I made World Finals. Me and my coach, I guess, are the best out of this entire month, out of the entire world. And I'm in World Finals, bro. After all the people saying I could never make it, saying like, oh, Ian, you have 0 World Finals appearances. We made it. So thank you guys so much for supporting me. Thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed. Take care, everyone.